Alright, this is Little Black Notebook. I'm just a dude being a dude trying to help people out, and this is how I find really cheap apartments. So, all my rent has, last 5 years have been under $500. I live in Minneapolis, where the average rent's probably like $1,000 or $1,200 for a one bedroom, and this is how I do it. I skip apartments.com and the larger websites. I always go on Facebook Marketplace. Last resort, Craigslist. I wouldn't do that. I always use Facebook. In short. Um, Location strategy for I go on Facebook and then I look at my school if I'm in school at the time, or I go to work and then I try to find somewhere between the two. I usually want to keep it under 20 minutes for either one, and the shorter the better. You can save time. You can use that for working out, going to work. Time is money, so I just don't like driving that much. The parameters that I put on there, once I find the general location that I want, I make it a minimum of $100 and $500 for maximum. If you do $100 for the minimum, it's gonna eliminate some like weird ones where people are trying to rent through the day, or I don't know, apartment services like apartment cleaning, whatever, this and that. So I always put $100 for the minimum, $500 for the maximum, and then I see what I have there. If you live in a more expensive area, then I would start with 500 and then go up by whatever, $100 each time, $200 if you want, and then just play with it there. But in Minneapolis here, I at least try to keep it. Oh, nice. Try to keep it under $500. You're gonna have roommates if you have apartment under $500 in Minneapolis at least. So I usually try to bring a friend. First place that I had a buddy from hometown. The one I have right now is from my work, and then the middle one I just had, I didn't know. I had 12 to 16 roommates. I don't know how many exactly. I accidentally moved in a halfway house. So if you go by yourself, you're probably going to have a whole bunch of people versus if you can find a two-bedroom like the one I'm in right now, or a one-bedroom like the first one I had and had bunk beds, you can save a bunch of cash. The hardest part is trying to find somebody else who wants to have a lower living standard and save as much money as possible. At least that was difficult for me to find. Okay, now going into some of your trade-offs here. You're going to be living super cheap, which is usually found in higher crime areas, missing amenities, so you're not going to have any private kitchen. You're going to be sharing bathrooms. My lighting doesn't work here. Um, my stove leaks gas. There was a drain that was broken and they just flex sealed it instead of fixing it. There's going to be some stuff that's wrong, but you're going to be saving a whole bunch of cash. So I always look at it like character building, not really resilience because that seems kind of corny, but I don't know. I don't have an issue with it. I'm pretty grateful for what I'm living in right now. Just compare yourself to other people who don't have this opportunity. Um, and then the living condition isn't really that bad. Like, it's not bad, guys. Staying under the radar. So, if you're in a little bit higher crime area, um, don't make yourself a target. I was, you know, I don't really dress down on purpose. I just like wearing comfy clothes. So, okay. Gamma helped me make this. You don't have to wear clothes with holes and stuff. Mine do because mine are old, but I wouldn't wear anything that's expensive or flashy looking really, unless you go into work and back. But I always like wearing sweatpants and stuff. I keep to myself and I just stay focused of going to work, going to school, going to the gym, coming back, whatever chapter I am in my life. I just like staying under the radar. Um, Sometimes it doesn't work. First place I got, my roommate got robbed at gunpoint. He brought a girl back, and then boom, wrong guys to rob. Not because we got guns or anything. It's because we don't have anything. We didn't have a TV then. I don't have a TV now. So they did take his car and phone, wallet, keys. Just the regular stuff. But yeah, that was just he got set up by a girl. Besides that, I haven't been targeted for anything else. Besides, I guess one of the landlords had taken my bike. But oh, that's a little corny there. It's definitely not the trenches. It's just hanging around. So yeah, first one he got robbed at gunpoint. Next spot, I accidentally went into a halfway house, like I just talked about. They had some mice there, and there's some needles in the back, um, but nothing too crazy. And then the one in the middle of the halfway house, I wouldn't really recommend doing that. That wasn't as cool because you don't know anybody, and like one of the guys, I was in the kitchen and Rob came. He had a bunch of scabs on his face and stuff. And then there were needles, so I'm like, interesting. So that's the one that my landlord tried taking my bike to. So I wouldn't really go there, but everywhere else you're pretty fine. Like, I don't know, Minneapolis is cool. I think people in general just leave you alone. You just hope you're not that unlucky fellow who gets caught up in something. But if you look at the statistics for how many people are in Minneapolis, or how many people are in the area, it's pretty low chance that something's going to happen. Sometimes you just got to roll the dice for a season and just hang out with it. But go with your gut, do whatever you're comfortable with. If you're a woman, I wouldn't really recommend trying to save money and going to a more dangerous spot. If you're a dude, just let her buck. Why not? But this isn't advice. I don't know what legalities are, but it's not advice to do. It's just what I've done. Okay, cities, you're definitely going to be able to find somewhere cheap, under $500. If you're in like San Francisco, probably not. But if you're in, I don't know, Minneapolis isn't terribly cheap, but you're definitely not going to find it in New York. But I think majority of larger cities, you're going to be able to find something. Small towns, kind of possible. That one you're probably going to have to like focus on word of mouth and talking to buddies and stuff. But in the cities, you'll be good to go. Higher density of listings, better transportation. So if you don't have a car, you use public transportation. It's actually probably going to make it a little bit better because if you're staying under $500, you're probably not going to find a parking spot. So if you don't have a car, it's not a big deal. Just try to live closer to your work and school. Bottom line, you can do it for a season. You can do it. I don't really care. But you're going to be able to save a whole bunch of money. You have the opportunity to, like some of my friends, they pay $1,200, $1,300 for rent, and $1,200 is like my average expenses per month. Besides like car insurance, I just pay that in one. But yeah, let's just say $1,300 is average, and that's what they pay in rent. Let alone they got to do all their other stuff, which comes with a higher standard of living too. So they pay to go out more, whatever else. So my thought process is to only do this for a season, or I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Whenever I guess we get enough cash. If I'm putting it to numbers, it was 2024 in July. I had $158,000 for net worth. I had $100,000 of it in cash. And then I put about $80,000 into the stock market. Just nothing crazy. Well, majority's in S&P, otherwise Magnificent 7. And then, whatever. I did a couple other smaller ones, but whatever. Large percentage of it's in just large companies. And thanks to the bull market, now it's November 2025 now, so however long that is, year and a half, I've got $268,000. So luckily it's with the bull market, nobody can predict the future, but that can just show how much it's not really compound interest yet because it's only been a year, but you can make huge changes like that later on. That was $158,000 total net worth. Now we're at $268,000. Obviously I've been making more money since then, but the place that I do all my investing at, it's went up about $30,000. So $30,000 of that has been roughly from the last year. Yeah, long story short, saving money is good. Then from all these other things, I won't go into stories or anything because I'm trying to make this one quicker. There's going to be weird stuff that happens, and they're going to be good stories. So I like looking at stuff from the past, and I don't know, I think it's kind of funny. My friends think it's funny, or majority of people do. My family doesn't really like it very much, but I feel like it's just character building, and I don't really appreciate it. Just look at other people from other countries or other situations, and you'll be very grateful for what you have. Even though you're living cheaply, it's way better than some people have it. Finally, good luck. So trust your gut. Do whatever you want to. This is what I do. Hopefully it helps somebody out. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.